Mori ore te whānau, no mai, haere mai, welcome back to the 99Dreams podcast. If this is your first time listening, welcome. This is the 99Dreams podcast. I'm Raori, and if you're a regular listener, welcome back. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. Now today, I've got a fun guest today. I'm really looking forward to this one. He's one of the pros. He's a day one like Mitch Langton. We all met in the same week of PE school. I should have wore that same shirt I wore for Mitch, but hey, it's all good. I'll wear the Taranaki ears merch. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I've got Sam Baxter in the house. Kia ora, Sam. How's it going, brother?
What's going, my guy? How we doing?
Oh, good, brother. Better now that you're here. Sam, before we get started, my man, can you just give us a call queer? Who are you? Where are you from?
I'm Sam, one of the boys from Rari. We went to uni together. Been back in the day, 8 years ago, 7 years ago.
Something like that. It was a long time ago, bro.
From Wellies, moved down to Duds, and spent 5.5, 6 years there. Bro, and here we are, up in Tauranga now.
You're all over the place lately, aren't you? Weren't you like top of the South Island not too long ago?
Yeah, we bit. Did about 12 months there working, and then got a new job up here. And why would you not live the amount?
Bro, beautiful up there, isn't it? What's the weather like? Swimmable?
It's supposed to never rain at the moment, but it's hot. That's good. I'm struggling.
When it's on.
From Wellies, spent 6 years in Dunedin. This like 90% humidity, it ain't for me. But they say acclimatise. I've been here about 6 months. We're working on it.
You'll get there. Once you're there, bro, you'll be shirtless every day. You'll be more tan than Jerry.
That's the thing. Come summer, that's the whole point. That's why you live here.
Exactly. So it's Friday. We're having a couple of beers with this session. I'm drinking Behemoth something hoppy. That's what it's called. What do you got, bro?
Going back to the Spanish roots, Australia.
Did you have a couple of those when we were drinking at PE school that one time?
Probably.
This takes me back to when I think I was finishing my honours, right?
Yeah.
We just shoot off to New World, grab some snacks, grab a couple of beers, and power through. Because you were doing your masters at that time, eh?
Yeah, I was into that first year of the masters. Well, first year, I think it probably took me about 14 months. And I was into that data collection. The old 14-hour days.
Bro, that's hectic.
It was start early, finish late, but not a lot in between. So, the NBA was on, the cricket was on. Loved me going through, some test match cricket. Filled the days perfectly. NFL, anything I could put on that second screen to help kill some time. That was it.
Bro, it's looking deadly though, eh?
That's so good. So I got key sport knowledge of about 12 months of any major sport. I probably watched the game in the corner of my eye. Managed to get enough done.
Was there any World Cups on at that time?
Nah, because it was coming out of that was 2021. It was coming out of COVID, so really there wasn't much sport on anyway. So enough to tick along, but no, everything's getting postponed. We got Women's World Cup, go to the Black Ferns. That was meant to be 2021. 2021. And League World Cup 2021 as well.
Yeah, man. Like, it's crazy how much sport's on, but it's amazing at the moment. Like you said, Black Ferns killed it. Unfortunately, the Kiwis couldn't get through, but the women, they're in the final against Australia's women, and then you've got Samoa versus Australia. Who ever thought you'd get that as a league matchup for a World Cup?
Nah, we needed that. Black Ferns came through because that week the Black Hats boys had lost the semi-final. The Kiwis, they'd lost their semi-final, and then we had the girls' league. They pulled through, but against Australia in their pool game, but the Black Ferns, we needed that as a country on that Saturday night because we had a pretty rough week if you're a big sport watcher in the country.
And what a game that was, too. What a game that
was. Huge.
I can't, believe that we beat them off the line-out, and they were thrashing us with that line-out the whole game.
And 14-0 up, and then everyone's sitting there like, nah, bugger. Huge chance. Probably the biggest, second biggest rugby game, maybe third biggest rugby game we've ever had in this country. We had the World Cup final for the ABs in 2011. Had the original World Cup final. There was definitely more fans at that Black Ferns game than the original World Cup final, but
it was definitely the best game of rugby played in New Zealand this year.
Hard out, without a doubt, with past good couple of years.
Oh, 100%. No, it's been
Amazing game of
wicked.
rugby. And
It's
it was
been wicked.
awesome. I was in just in town, at a pub with a couple of mates, going to watch it, and it was just awesome how like we kind of pub hopped halfway through one of the halves, and you could hear we were like someone scored because you heard every bar down the strip just go like yeah. It was awesome. You knew what was going on because everyone was into it.
Bro, I was at my supervisor's house that night, and it was the same thing. Like every time we got like a penalty, or anytime we got a try or the ball back in a scoring position, it was loud.
It was
It
huge.
was
Ruby
such a
Tui for
great game.
president. Do it.
Bro, she's amazing, right? She's hella
She's
amazing.
awesome.
She's just such a vibe. Should be gangster to be on the podcast one day, hopefully.
Use those connections.
No, 100%. Another, like, how have you been anyway? What else have you been up to? How's life?
Good. New job. Moved up for a neuro rehab job. So stroke, spinal cord injury rehab, did quite a lot of pediatrics, so cerebral palsy, young kids with all that sort of stuff. And she's pretty hectic, but it's good hectic. It's good fun.
Yeah, so can you dive more into that? Like, what do you do? How do you help them?
So the main ones we do, or the main three I do, spinal cord injuries. There's four of us at work. It takes three of us to do one spinal cord injury rehab session. So paraplegics, quadriplegics, either of the like, incomplete, complete spinal cord injuries. So these are the ones, car accidents, ski accident, any of that sort of stuff. Um, can't walk, can't do whatever, and a lot of them have a lot of that drive to get back and come into us. Some do 3 or 4 times a week and just grit it out, do the rehab. Kind of 2 hours a day. We got one awesome guy at the moment who's doing 2 hours a day, 3 days a week, and then another awesome girl, Casey. She works there as well, so she works in the company, and then she is just the inspiration for it. She has 2 hours a day at least, really working on this rehab. So main one we do, it takes three of us. Hang one of them up on the treadmill, and then there's two of us, one on each leg and one behind holding the hips, and it's just walking them on a treadmill. We'll do about an hour of that, and that's just the repetition, try to retrain that muscle memory, the spine, the nerves, everything, try to get them walking again, and that's the gist of it. And then other side, strokes, cerebral palsy, same with strokes, some of the spinal cord injury, just use, repetition, trying to get things back to as good as they were the way before as you can. And cerebral palsy, just a lot of pediatric stuff. Kids 5, 6, 11, 12, not never walked, haven't not walking, all that stuff, low muscle tone. They've been in a chair basically their whole lives, wheeled around, and just really trying to get them same sort of thing. Build up that muscle strength, have some fun, build up that confidence for them, and get them going.
So that's got to be a super rewarding job. What are some of the things that you've learned from the mindset of some of these clients and patients that come in?
It's just determination, like grit the teeth. It's a pretty 2 step forward, 1 step back sort of thing. You make a big jump one day and then you feel like you've gone back, but it's really just, you notice you go to the gym and one morning you can, hit your max on the bench press, and the next morning you go in and try to do the same thing. You're like, oh, I couldn't get that up today. But it's like, oh, well, I was just a tired day. And it's a similar sort of thing there. You may have one little step back and you feel like, oh, crap, like all this work's, kind of undone. It's like, no, it's not, it's just one of those days. And these people know that, and they're like, right, I'm coming back tomorrow. I'm doing it all again, and we're gonna do it.
Far out, that's hectic. So, what's one of the biggest hurdles that you have to face with these guys?
Um, I don't know. Like, they're such go-getters. The hurdles, that they will do anything. They will try as hard as they can. One of the big hurdles maybe with the kids is a lot of them can be non-verbal, and so it's a lot of communication can be difficult. So they might have a carer or their mum or dad or somebody, grandparent, coming in with them, and you kind of got to go off the carer, the whoever's there with them, like, oh, I think this is all good, like I think they're enjoying this kind of. You kind of got to go. It's a lot of eye stuff, so you get a lot of that connection through the eyes, and you can see that the joy. People say you smile from your eyes, and it's exactly that. When they're having fun, you can. They don't have to say words for you to know they're having fun. But some things, we may try something that's a little bit too far too early, and you can kind of get that look from them. They can't sit there and go, hey, no good. you kind of just got to get it from the eyes and be like, oh, let's dial that back. We'll try that again maybe later on, but not at the moment. So yeah, it's just a lot of that non-verbal stuff, really working on getting through that.
Right. And where did you think you developed those skills? Like that's got to be so hard. I don't think I'd be able to pick up those cues straight away. So how did you develop that?
It's just it just comes really. You do, it's the sort of thing, if you told me 12 months ago that this is what I'd be doing, like I'd be like, nah, way, like I need more than 12 months to prep for that. But the other guy, the other guys at work were awesome at the start. I kind of had a week or two like shadowing with them, and you kind of learn through that, and then basically they threw me straight in and was like, right, you're good to go. And I was like, perfect, let's go, let's do it. And yeah, it's just, and the longer you get with these, working with these kids and stuff, especially like when you build that relationship and stuff, and a lot of the ones, if it's their first time in, you can try to do something with someone that you've done that maybe 100 times or something, they'd be like, not, you could see immediately, they'd be like, no. But when you build that relationship, it's kind of a little bit like, they don't really talk back, but you go, do you trust me? Let's do it. If you trust me, we know that, I've seen you twice a week for however long. You trust me, let's do this. I know you can do this. And a lot of them you can kind of see in them, they're like, right, all right, give it a go. And sure enough, boom, there we are.
So it all just comes down to building that relationship with them and then understanding their mindset as they go along.
100%. And it's, that challenge of the non-verbal, but you'd be surprised at how easily you can overcome that.
Wow, that's awesome, bro. You're out here doing some amazing shit. That's mean. I like, who would have thought? Third year. Who would have thought this would be you?
100%. The pleasure's all mine for a day. Like the chance to work with all these people, it's just awesome. Like every day is fun, is awesome. I range. I think the oldest is 86, and the youngest I've got with an 18-month-old. Awesome.
Bro, yeah, that's such a fulfilling job. If you were to encounter someone, or if someone's listening to this podcast and they know someone in that kind of situation that's, going through someone who's had a stroke or someone who's been paralyzed through car crashes, what's some advice to them, or how do they find out about you guys?
Next Step New Zealand, not the courier company. That can be a common mistake. You Google that. Next Step New Zealand Gym, Mount Maunganui. That's us. We're located up here. 4 of us trainers, and get in touch. We do a lot of stuff with a lot of people from around the country. So school holidays, particularly, we've got 2 or 3 kids that from around the country that come up for a kind of a crash course for school holidays. Might do a week, might do 2 weeks, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Get it done for the school holidays. So we do. We've got people that travel, people that come around, and then other ones. Anyone around the area, we've got people that travel, Rotorua, Matamata, Whakatane, all the way, kind of 2.5 hours each way is probably the longest someone Taupo travels to come see us. Same thing, that's the determination these people have, to get it done, to get the rehab done, and we are the only, facility like this in the country, and we'd love to have more, and we're working on it, but at the moment, Tauranga is the only place to be, and here we are.
Well, there you go, whānau. If you or someone is suffering from anything that Sam can help you guys out with, definitely check them out. First step.
Next step.
There you go. Next step. Tauranga. That might help narrow the searches down instead of it being a career search website.
There we are.
But Baxter, why don't you tell us a bit more about your uni days? How about we throw it back to camp, 104 camp.
The most mentally challenging 6 days of my life, trying to get through a camp with Rawiri and Ash, Titus, my only guy that was there for me.
I think by the end of it, he turned on you too.
Yeah, probably. It's just because I was an athlete. No one else could keep up. It's hard.
One of them got injured.
The whole time, yeah, far out. We can't all be, superhuman like me, so...
Why don't you dive a bit more into it? Because in episode 1, I talked about how I went on this camp, and I hate camping. I hate hiking. Like, I'd rather just see it on Instagram.
I love, I've always kind of said I'm more of a day trip guy, like pack light, get through get through stuff fast. I remember looking back from photos that we saw at the end of it, and it was day one, and I was going, oh, like, I don't remember that view. And it's because I remember you had the 50-kilo pack and you were bogged down, and we just gritted out, 15, I don't know, however long it was, a couple of hours straight. And it was just like, that's why I didn't see that view, because I was just head down, The peak we did the day one, way better, pack light, couple of snacks, just gun up there. And then all of a sudden you're walking kind of up the hillside and you're like, oh, this view's awesome. I can see it, instead of gritting the teeth, head down.
Bro, that first hike killed me. The rest of it was just shit. The vibes were there, though. The vibes were there, 100%.
The vibes were... I tell you what, we were in that hut for 24 hours to wait out that storm. Positive vibes only. The vibes stayed high. It was... Like, I was surprised,
Yeah, no, it was wicked. That did suck, being caught in that storm, but luckily that was by the time we got to
exactly.
the shack.
It was caught in the storm in the shack, as opposed to caught in the storm in the middle of nowhere, Always positives.
Here's what got me the most was that by the time we got to the shack, like in our head, because us boys were like, well, there's not going to be enough room for us to be in the shack. The girls can have it. Yeah, the girls can have it, right?
4 of us guys, five guys, and we're like, look, we're gentlemen. There's a tent. We'll take the tent. We'll set it up at the rain. We'll sleep in the rain outside. It's okay. We can get through that.
And then they get into the cabin.
Nope.
They're like, nah, this is shit. We don't want this. You guys can have this.
Christmas came early, and it was February. That was what do we have? We had mattresses. Oh. What were they, like 3-inch thick or something? They were mattresses. And we were sitting there going, they're punking us, right? There's no way.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I honestly thought there would have been another like dock hut around the corner that they knew about, and they were like, "No, we'll go take that one."
Bro, I was so stoked. We had like an unwanted guest, but that's okay. We're all right. We got through it.
Well, what we do? Well, honestly, what do we spend 3 hours drafting players in the NBA? All time, current, 90s, 10s. I mean, people joke like guys can just sit around naming old sports stars for hours and be happy. That got us through.
Really
12
did.
hours.
That in the hat game? With the names in the hat?
Yeah. That was good.
There was some good times. Like, the hiking sucked. And that river crossing, what the hell was that?
See, it was quite fun because the last, like, obviously the longer you go and the more you eat the food and all that stuff, and the lighter your packs get. So, like, the morale decline kind of gets offset by the weight that gets literally let off your back. And by the last day, you're pretty much bare bones, and you're like, this, we're going so fast. This is easy. Like, chill. We're doing this. And then you're like, oh, why couldn't I feel like this the whole hike? It's because you were you were 20 kilos now as opposed to 55 at the start. And you're like, oh, that's right. That's why.
It was that damn tent. That tent was heavy, man. That tent and its damn poles.
To be fair, I did like the big brain of the poles, is that you could use them as walking sticks.
Yeah, true.
Must have been a game changer for the tent industry.
Yeah, tent sales went through the roof.
And a dagger for the hiking pole industry.
Yeah, because it's a 2-in-1. There was some amazing photos. Maybe I'll put some up.
It was awesome. Post. Like, when we were able to, a couple of times we set up camp for the night. That last night we had, set up camp, and then 20 minutes up that little hill. That was it. That was on. You're like, this is why we're doing this.
Yep. And that final night was pretty dope. We had the chocolate mousse that we like froze from the river.
Yeah, that was good. It was, it was. Let's not get it wrong. It was awesome. It's the kind of thing where, like, would you do it again?
Hell no.
Am I stoked I did it once? 100%.
Yeah, like I did love it. I loved by the end of it, and like the vibes we had. Remember when we got picked up? We were just singing. I can't even remember what we were singing, but we were singing off the top of our lungs. We came in so hype.
Benji picked us up, didn't he?
Now it was Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb picked us up, and
And
man,
he
we were
knew.
just singing. We're like, ah,
He put the tunes on, and we were good to go.
bro. We came in so hot. We came in so strong. It was crazy. I think he was like, man, no other group has come in this hot the way we came in.
Jerry's group came in that hot,
I still
but
think we had it.
when you've got a group of Jerry, Blake, TJ, and Annalise, vibes are high.
That's true. But we had you, me, Ash. Who else was in our group? We had
Gemma, Meg,
Gemma.
Taylor, Titus, Libby. Might have been it.
Yeah, it was a good crew. Remember?
And Tiffany.
Should
And
we
Big
just say
Steve.
this? Remember when we were like talking about ticket pie, and that one girl was like, "What the fuck is a ticket pie?"
That was one of the things where, probably 4 days in at that point. That's one
Mm-hmm.
of the things where you're done, you're exhausted. Something comes out a little bit quietly, and you realize you said it out loud, not in your head. And
And like they had no idea. They didn't grow up in the North Island. They didn't grow up around like anyone that's like a brother.
Oops.
Hey, look, you learn something new every day, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It was also the first time being at this camp was the first time I learned that you were lactose intolerant.
I am not lactose intolerant. I am mildly.
Enough to grab the shovel.
That's what it is. That's
But
what it is.
in all honesty, I've never used a shovel that much in my life.
Yeah, hey, what, 5 days?
Yeah, man. It was crazy. But I tell you what, that sauna was worth it.
Hard out. That sauna at the end. They,
And
they talked about it, and they were like, that's, you wait till you've done the days, and then that sauna. And we were like, yeah, whatever. How good can a sauna be? Turns out saunas can be pretty fucking good.
bro, it was the best. And that plunge pool, oh,
Jumping between the two that was it.
yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know where we're talking about, it's Glenorchy, just outside
Paradise.
of Queenstown. Yeah, paradise. It
Just
really is
outside just
paradise.
outside of Queenstown.
It is a great place. It is a great place. The hiking and the camping sucks. So, like, if you're going, take some photos, tag me in it. I'll be keen to see it. Didn't someone get hypothermia?
Yeah, one of the other groups. Couldn't hack it.
Weak. Nah, sad. Do you have like a favorite memory from university or something that you did at university where you're like, bro, that's gonna stick with me forever?
I kind of feels like a cop out. It was my last night there, so kind of wild to think that the last night was the biggest memory. And you just missed out. You were too slow. My leaving party for all of us postgrads after I handed in my masters, we ran a beer mile.
That's right.
We did boat ends, 400-meter laps, 4 beers, beer mile, and that was just carnage. It was the funnest. These are sports science postgrads. These kids were athletes, a lot of them, and we're in Otago. These guys can drink some beer as well. We got a couple of the old Space Summit because we're also intelligent, low carb, and booked it around the track, booked it around the track, and we were written. So that was a good one. But any of the P events really were just that Fetafano was just, you can't top it. Wine and cheese, P ball, bus trip, any of them.
Bro, there
What
were
about
some
you?
crazy times. There were some
What was
crazy
yours?
times. I do remember your beer mile fondly. I was late. Was it planned? No one will know.
Who knows? Can't come last if you don't start the race.
Exactly. I was saying this whole time. I was like, man, I will drink for someone. I'm just not running for someone.
And then you get old Jim Cotter who can do it better than all of us.
If I have you seen the size of his calves, he could run like from here to tomorrow.
Pretty sure he has. Multiple times.
Exactly. But if it's just standing still and drinking, I reckon I can drink under the table.
I don't know. To be fair, I don't know.
I want to see it happen. Jim, I'm
Because I
calling you
watched.
out.
Because not only did he run the fastest, he was like second out the blocks. We started with a beer, and he was gone. Pretty sure he did some like hazy IPAs too.
Yeah,
We were
no,
on our
true,
ultra
fair. Like,
lagers.
he brews his own shit, doesn't he?
He is elite at anything that he puts his mind to.
Yeah, you're not lying. He's not only just a great man, but a great athlete.
So we're gonna run this back. What's your best memories?
Um, Good question. There is so many. Like you said, we've got all the PE events. What about was it after before dance when we were all at Mitch's place?
Yeah, Jerry's.
Bro. No, was that
Oh, before
Mitch's?
103. Yeah, before the dance
Yeah.
wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this was crazy, right? We were drinking. This was first year, so we were all fucked as. Didn't you drink like rum or something?
Yeah, we
I'm
weren't
pretty
allowed
sure.
spirits on the hall, and this was one of the first nights I'd just been straight to a flat, and so I was like, I'm a rum guy. Do love me some rum, and I was like, we're running this out because we can't have spirits in the hall, so we're allowed it outside it. They don't care what we do outside the hall, but
And see, this is what got me, right? Sam, fucked as, goes back to the hall. Like, we think he's gone. We thought that's it. He's tapped out. He ain't coming back. So we go into starters. We're partying away. And I turn around. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, bro, I'm back. And I was
can't hold me
just like,
down.
what the fuck? Let's go.
Can't hold me down.
Brotherhood. That legit is one of my favorite memories. I love that because you were legit folded. You were gone. You shouldn't have come back. There's no reason you should have been there, but you were there, and we were like, "Yo,
I am a
Baxter's
fighter.
here,
I am a winner. I am a fighter. I am determined, and I was not gonna miss out.
bro." 100%, and you didn't. You pretty much just went home and had a toast, got changed, and you were back.
My favorite thing about it was you were surprised enough I got there, and 2 minutes later you came back with a beer for me.
Because
I
that's
was
how we
like,
roll.
needed? Maybe not.
You always need it. You always need it. My worst memory right now is the fact that Starters is closed. Because like I
Mm,
feel like Starters was the home of all PE events. We had wine and cheeses there. We had the 103s there. What else did we have at Starters?
quiz night, O week, PE week.
Yes, bro. How was that? Because that's
That
where I
was
met
good.
you, eh?
Yeah. Were we in the same group, or did we just?
Nah, we just met and then we're in the same. Because we're in the same gym class too, eh?
Yeah, same gym.
Yeah,
Gym was a good one. What did we do?
gym was
Spend a
so much fun.
semester basically learning how to backflip.
I didn't get that far.
No, I don't think I did either, to be honest.
I almost broke my neck on that damn beam. You know how we had to like tumble onto the beam?
Pretty sure Charles did break his neck on the damn beam.
Yeah, the three worst people in that class were me, Charles, and Tanu.
Oh, yeah. What a crew. What a crew of the three of you.
Oh, 100%. But that class was stacked. It was you, Langton, Jerry, me, Charles, Tanu. Who else was on there? What was his name? Backflips all the time.
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, man, that was a good class, though.
But that
And
was that was a deep class in terms of like that was for the whole 5 years. That was us. Me, you,
yeah,
Jerry, Langton, Charles. You know, like that was. Those are the ones
100%.
that
That was our
stayed.
crew.
Yeah.
We like started together, graduated together.
Graduated.
Yeah, together eventually. I mean, I'm still glad that you and me got to graduate together, although with
We got
different
there.
degrees. You had honors, and I was just getting my
We've got
BAP
the same
sci.
degrees now.
But yeah, we're there. I just got to get the masters finished.
Always the way.
I started this instead.
Yeah, there you go. So really, I'm taken away from you finishing your masters. Way to make me feel bad
No,
about coming on, eh?
I just needed a scapegoat, someone to blame.
Yeah, there you go. The one that went and bought drinks with you to drink and study with, and then now I'm doing this, and
This is the exact same thing. We're still drinking, we're still studying. It's just in a different platform.
there was definitely more study going on when we got the beers from New World.
Oh, 100%. I think we pumped out like a good 2-3 hours.
It was good. It worked. That's
Yeah, because we
probably
knew what we were there to do.
yeah. That's our maturing through uni went from rocking up to Reburger or something to get us through the night, not realizing that probably puts us in a food coma more than it actually helps us study.
Yeah.
As opposed, and then grew up to go to New World, get a couple of brewskis, and that was us. It actually helped us out. Oh, give us a sip of, what's that one you got? Oh, give us a go on this, like.
And we'd be solid with it too. We'd only grab two. We'd just grab two,
Yeah.
enough to taste, enough to have a good time and get back into the study. Because
It
we went
worked.
from drinking to avoid study to drinking and study. We combined
Yeah,
the two.
exactly.
That's a big brain.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if we ever studied to avoid drinking.
Nah. That's a good one. Wait,
Probably
did
should have
we?
done that a bit more.
Nah, maybe we did.
Maybe you'd finish your masters by now if you'd studied to avoid drinking sometimes.
I think if I just studied in general.
Yeah. You can't ask for the moon to shift.
We can try. Oh, man. You've been away from Dunedin now for, what is it, 2 years?
Yeah, almost a
Almost
year and a
2
half, probably.
years? How's the adjustment from being in Dunedin where, pretty much everyone's so close together, you got a whole community around you, to now being in Tauranga, and essentially you've obviously got a few mates there, but essentially you don't have that same community that you did down in Dunedin.
I living in Mount Maunganui, so it's actually more similar than you think. Because Mount Maunganui is kind of similar, I didn't realise until I moved up just how separate Tauranga and Mount Maunganui actually were. Like I thought Mount Maunganui was kind of a suburb of Tauranga, but really it's basically its own town. Obviously obviously really is close to Tauranga, but living on this side, it really is its whole little ecosystem climate sort of thing, just like North Dunedin is for Dunedin. Like North Dunedin Studentville was its own entity really, and it's actually pretty similar up here. Just 4 times the degrees on the thermostat, and yeah, not freezing my tits off all year.
No more room temp beer.
Nah, we are cold when it's cold and warm when it's warm.
Well, do you have any advice for anyone? I have a podcast coming up where I talk about the importance of building reliable relationships and what that's like once you leave those community spaces like Dunedin where we were close. Like I could just rock up to your place. I mean, I stayed at your place. We'll get into that after this. But do you have any advice for anyone who is leaving university or leaving high school or leaving those core friend groups?
Just gotta get out there, eh? I mean, I feel like I got it handed to me studying PE. Like I, don't know how it would have gone if you'd gone down the basic normal route, commerce, law, health sci, whatever. But taking that not out of my comfort zone because sport and exercise is my comfort zone, but going to a smaller degree at a uni, from Wellies to the other end of the other island. But the Fed did such a good way of just throwing us all together. What are you, boy, a couple of years older from me from Taranaki? Like, how am I meant to know you? Oh, chuck us in gym. We're all going to learn how to do backflips, and everyone's going to fail, and everyone's going to laugh, and everyone's going to have a mean as time. And then here you are 7 years later, with the boys that, like, I could rock down to Wellies tomorrow, knock on Jerry's door, and if he's awake, he'll say hi to him. He'll give me a cuddle. Like it's
100%.
so. I don't know. I feel disingenuous giving advice on that because it was handed to me. The PE degree is just the best way to make the best mates you'll have because it's just all there and it's fostered so well and it's done so well and it's you've ended up with just so many mates all around the country now because we've all dispersed because we've all left, but doesn't matter because you'll rock up to 2 towns over and there's one of them and it's there we are, let's hang out, let's catch up and it's all the same and it's all awesome.
Well, I mean, this interaction right here is prime example. We haven't caught up in person. I think when did I bump into you when you were in Wellington? Was that 2 years ago or 1 year ago?
That would have been before grad. We would have done grad together.
Yeah, because like I haven't seen you in person for such a long time.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
shit.
but we pick up this, and it's like I saw you just yesterday.
Exactly.
And yeah, that's the beauty, like you say, of the PE degree, where we've been able to build these relationships from pretty much day one. And like you say, you can come to Taranaki. You always got a place to stay. You could go to Wellington, knock on Jerry's door, and he'll open it and pour a beer for you. Auckland now is where Mitch is. Christchurch is where Charles is. Dunedin is where Ash and the rest of that motley crew are.
The rejects.
He's actually going to be on the podcast next week. I've got
There you
Ash
go.
jumping on.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but speaking of great friendships, there's no greater friendship than letting a bro crash on your couch until he can find a place, because his dumb ass took too long to find a place over the summer holidays because he didn't want to pay rent.
Hey, I was the same. I got one late. It was close to PE school, which was all I needed for that year. And then another flatmate was it. That was us.
Bro, it was gangster, man. It felt like I was living in like that cupboard under the stairs, like Harry Potter, except there was a lot more space. There was a couch, there was a refrigerator up there.
It was bliss. That was a good. Was it 2 weeks maybe?
I think it was close to about a month.
Oh, hey, didn't feel like it then.
Yeah, bro, it was definitely closer to a month.
Yeah.
Just because I know how long it took, and I was just like, I just need to hurry up, find something. But shout out, would not have got through that if it weren't for you, bro. Would have been back to the PE school again.
You'd have been. Hey, there's worse departments in uni to sleep in, probably.
I can confirm PE school wasn't too bad. You just crank up the heater. It's got Wi-Fi. There's
Free
TVs
heating,
in almost
Wi-Fi.
every room.
Exactly.
They have a cleaner.
Bliss.
Shout out to Mike, by the way. I hope he's still there. I hope he's still doing good, and I hope those fucking new postgrads treat him well.
Yeah.
How was like building all those relationships? Because you were pretty much the token in our group. Like, you know how like every group, most people say they got like a token brown guy. We were a brown group with a token white guy.
We spun it round.
How was that for you anyway?
It was good. It was fine. It was no different to me.
Yeah.
It was the best way to be. It was a great way to, once especially all you boys got into Te Konoga and all that stuff. Like, it was such an awesome way to see kind of that side of, I guess, research and, how, the Māori Pacifica, groups at uni kind of do, because you do it a little bit differently. It's awesome, and it was awesome to see, really see and live and experience that side of things. It was such an awesome way to just be so openly welcomed into that group and, be a part of it.
Oh, brother, you know how it was, man. You were our white boy. Hey, no one could pick on you except us, and when you were with us, you were just fine, brother.
It was the best. It was the best way, and it was, it was such a good kind of segue into, being a part of that crew.
Oh, 100%. Everyone's got mad respect for you too. Like, it's so hard.
Unless we're 5 days into a 6-day camping trip.
Oh, but that was not your fault that we took it out on you. It was just you were the easiest target, and we didn't know the girls that well.
I've got the hardest skin.
That's true.
You knew I could take it. The worst would have been you and Ash getting into each other, and 3 years later still hating each other.
Has he paid you yet for that camp?
Eventually. He did.
Because I remember he was the only one with a job, and yet he was the
only one.
He
was working the most, and he's still. You need to quiz him on that next week.
I will. I'll ask him. Did you ever pay Sam? I think you owe Sam some money.
You can say, have you ever taken longer to pay somebody than you took to pay Sam for your food on the camp trip?
I feel like he was taking the piss by the end of it.
I probably got to the point where he was like, it's funnier if I don't.
Yeah, probably.
And it's one of the things where like I feel like a dick still chasing you out, but it's also like $85 and I'm a student, so like
it was pretty expensive. It was pretty expensive, man. I think I paid you in like lunches occasionally.
Yeah, probably. What's that? 85 bucks. That might be 16 Union Grills.
Yeah, I think it was like, oh, if we're at KFC and I had a little bit extra, I didn't have the full 80, but I was like, oh, I'll buy you lunch this time and we'll just take it off the bill.
Just whittle it down.
Yeah.
Bar steak. Beer or two here and there.
Bro, how good was the bar steak nights?
It was. I feel like we ruined it when we rocked up with 25 people, and it took so long to get everybody's out because we rocked up unannounced to 25 people.
I was too
It
drunk
was
to notice.
it was awesome, but like, number one when he got his steak was finished by the time number eight had his steak, and then it was just like we ruined the kitchen. Like, I feel bad about it because we rocked up unannounced to 25 people. You know, we
What?
chatted through a couple of beers. It was probably good for them because we just kept sitting there going, well, I haven't got my steak yet, and there's 6 people in front of me that haven't got theirs, and they ordered before me. So what am I going to do? I might as well have another one.
I think I do remember that though. Because I don't think you're allowed to book at the bar on steak night just for
No,
that reason.
no.
So, how many of us? It was you, me. It was Jerry Stafford flat A.
It was there was an obscene amount of people. It
Because
was
I
awesome. It
remember,
was awesome.
was it a Stafford flat or was it when we were living on George Street together? Because I remember Raul
Yeah, it
Carpio
was your George.
came.
Carps came, all that other crew. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. Just
bro,
Ryan McBride came.
that's right,
Me,
man.
Blake, you, Chart. Like that was it.
Bro, it was that was a good. Oh man, see, it's these moments that you're just like, shit. I'm glad we got to experience that.
It was good. It was good. It was a decent steak as well. It was good value.
Yeah, have you been to the bar lately?
I've been in Dunedin for like 5 days in the past 2 years, so I'm gonna have to go with no.
Beer Fest next year. That's us.
Yeah, true. I did say it's just so expensive to get. You know, Toting at a duds is a big hike.
Not if we book early.
Yeah, true. We'll see.
I think mine must be about the same price because I have to fly to Wellington or
Yeah,
Christchurch and then from there out. It's
yeah,
these bloody little provincial airports.
yeah.
Bastards.
Big ones.
Is it like $500 one way? Like if it's a late booking?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me too. I think my latest flights, because they were last minute, was about $1,000 return. Yeah.
Oof.
But shout out to the uni for that one.
That was on Te Konanga, wasn't it? So,
Yeah. It was for the symposium, but it was worth it. I'm taking it.
yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, if you ever need if the TK Symposium needs a, stroke and neuro rehab specialist,
Bro, all you gotta do is add that Maori element to it and
AMJ, I am a
100%.
I am a seventh generation Pakeha New Zealander.
So is Tash. And she is doing amazing things in the Maori space.
We do. I mean, we do have. You look at the statistical numbers as well. We've got a lot of Māori people that come through, and I tell you, some of them are the most determined ones we have.
Yeah, man, like it's that whole mindset and I think it's just the attitude that Maori have is that nothing's given to us. We kind of just have to work like a motherfucker to get where we want to be.
I love as well. You definitely notice. Um, I feel like the Pakeha, the ones that come in, um, might have a support worker or a husband or a wife or a son that comes in, and it might be a different one each time, but they come in with one. The Māori Cook Islander ones we have come in with a husband and daughter and grandma, and or a friend and a wife and a sister. Like it's so cool the whanaungatanga that comes through with them all at once.
Yeah,
It beefs up the gym. There's so many people in there with if one person comes in, but it's so cool to see that it's such a whānau, it's such a group that comes in to help, especially with the strokes. Like it's a journey to get through, and it takes everyone, and it's they don't do it by parts. They don't do I'll do Tuesday, you do Thursday, I'll do Monday, you do Wednesday. It's like, right, We're all going Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like, everyone's coming, you know, uncle, auntie, grandma, granddad, mum, dad, everyone. We're coming through, and we know we're getting this done, and it's so cool to see, and it brightens the gym up because there's so many of them, and it's awesome. Like, it's just
Yeah,
such a good way to have it done.
nah, that's one thing about like a lot of Polynesian and Maori people is that it takes a whānau to achieve things. And I think you definitely would have sensed that down in Dunedin with all of us. Like, it really took all of us to get over the line, like, or try and get each other over the line. You would have definitely seen it in 2019 as we were
Mm-hmm.
all getting close to finishing our degree. We were all just, come on, boys, it's us, we'll go. Like, you definitely would have seen us at university a lot more
Because
in
it was
that
a
second
wee.
semester.
Was there a period that was like, were you kind of close to finishing or getting into your masters and stuff, and there was a couple of honours students handing at the same time, and there was maybe one or two PhD students again at the same time, and it just all, I guess, kind of unfortunately for your group as a whole, that a lot of people had a due date at the same time, but you know a lot of you did within probably a month of each other, and it was just such a everybody was getting everybody through.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I remember because it was, oh shit, Emma and Tiana. They both finished theirs pretty quickly. They're onto it as they're hella switched on. And
They
then it was
are
Ashton,
hell switched on.
Tash, and myself. It was the Friday where it was technically due, but Jim got us an extension till the Monday. But
Mhm.
because Emma and Tiana had already finished, and Jim was like, "Oh, we'll just have the beers tonight. We'll all head down to Umbrellos. We'll have a couple of beers." Me and Tash and Ashton felt like frauds because we were like, "Oh, but
Not
like
done.
we haven't finished it." And I think Ashton was at work at this time, so we went down, had a few beers, we celebrated. Emma and Tiana, pretty much. We celebrated those two because they had actually finished. Tash and I, we went straight back to PE school afterwards, and we were straight on the laptop. And I used to have a competition with those two. Like, one night I was leaving PE school, I was like, nah, I'm off. Walk out, and I look over to the computer room where you guys had your fellas' office. Seen the light was still on, looked outside, seen there were two cars there. I was like, ah, fuck. So I went back
Can't
into
go
Te
back.
Koro and pumped out another 2.5 hours. They were gone. I was like, yes, thank God I need to
I'm
sleep.
out.
But
Those are the
it
nights you
is like
sleep
you
on the
say, it's
couch.
that whānau unit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm off to Baxter's place. It's just around the corner.
You always had a bed there.
100%. Again, like I said, bro, I'm hella grateful for you and um, the support that you always show me. Like, you're right here on this podcast now supporting me, and it's amazing. Got nothing but love for you, brother. And if you're ever in Taranaki, you've always got a place to come and crash, bro. But there's one thing that I always do on this podcast. It's if you could tell yourself, let's go with, were you 18 at high school before you were about to come to university?
Yep, 1st of July.
So we'll say, what could you tell 18-year-old self if you could run back now and say, Sam, here's some advice. So if you could go back and tell 18-year-old Sam uh, any piece of advice, what would it be?
I don't know. Like, yeah, I feel like I haven't heard too many people say this answer, but like, nothing. Keep my mouth shut and just let. I'm really happy with how things played out. Like, I love the job I'm in at the moment. I loved the journey I went through uni, and I wouldn't want to screw up anything that happened by saying something stupid. So just maybe nothing. Keep my mouth shut. Let things go how things went. Because they turned out pretty bloody great, to be honest. I'm really happy with how things have turned out. You know, did the honours, got the masters, chugged through it all, met some amazing mates, had a great time. Here I am now, Mount Maunganui, working on a job that I love, and I didn't really know how it could have gone much better, and I don't know what I could tell myself to change things to make it better.
That's gangster. So, Fano, not everyone needs to tell their younger self to be anything, do anything other than what they did. And, there's beauty in that too, because you're happy and you're satisfied with where you are and how everything panned out. That let it be. So in saying that, if you could, wow, maybe I would like this. When you look back on this podcast in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, is there a message you'd like to leave yourself for the future?
Ooh. Oosh. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
We can come back to
Yeah.
this. We can carry on.
I
Yeah.
honestly don't know.
Keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because this is obviously going up on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Pod, every good streaming like Amazon Music and Google Podcasts, anywhere you can stream a podcast, this is where this will be. So you can always come back to this in the future and be like, damn, I forgot I told myself that.
Yeah.
So another thing I do here is I was going to get a dream jar, but there was too much hassle and I brought some shoes. I got the Trey Youngs, actually. And on
Wee.
the box, it says, always remember when they doubted you. So now I've got a dream box. And so with this box, what we do is everyone that comes on gets to put a dream in the box. I've got a few in there at the moment. Everyone gets to put a dream in the box. And in this box is where we keep dreams alive. Dreams never die. They can change and morph and people can grow, but we can always come back to this box in this moment and let those dreams come to life. And so in the future, when this builds up and I have the capacity to help people start achieving these dreams, I want a dream board at the back there. And every time someone achieves a dream, I like to take this out, print it out, and stick it up on the dream board. So, do you have any dreams? It doesn't have to just be one, it could be multiple that you'd like to achieve in this lifetime.
I reckon big one I've noticed from work is, how do you word it? Probably making safe, comfortable environments for rehabilitation more readily available countrywide. So that's, the ones we work with, the stroke, the spinal cord injury. We've got autistic children, adults, adolescents, and it's where we are is such a safe environment for them there. It's not a City Fitness, it's not a Jets, it's not a Les Mills or anything. And nothing against, those sorts of gyms, but it's a safe, secure place for them to be. And it's not somewhere having 1 hour a day that's, this, I think some of the supermarkets do it. It's a sensory decreased hour or something, and the lights turn off and the music goes off and it's all, a lot quieter and they can feel which is awesome as well, but it's the space as a whole. And at the moment, for those sorts of things, we are the only one in the country for such a wide range of disabilities and hurdles and all that stuff, and to make that more readily available around so that everybody wherever could have something within a reasonable travel distance that they could get to. And everyone needs to move, everyone needs to exercise and be healthy and everything. And a lot of people's barrier to that is not having a safe space, and that is what we need more of.
Bro, that's amazing. Everyone that's come on this damn show has made my dreams look trash. But yeah, again, that's why this is the I wish that's a wish, not a dream. It ain't never gonna happen.
Not with that
But
attitude.
nah, bro. That is powerful, man, and the fact that your dream involves other people, bro, that's admirable. Because yeah, everyone that has come in here has said the same thing. It involves other people. I mean, the first one that I wrote down was to own a McLaren. Like, who's that gonna help?
Okay,
But over
I
time,
take
like
it back. I want to be a scratch golfer.
I'll let that too. I'll let that too.
Fuck it all. Give me the golf.
Um, but yeah, no, that first goal, that first dream, sorry, is so admirable, and I can't wait to put it up on the back wall there when it comes true. My turn now. It's my turn to write down another dream. So I do this with all the guests that come on as well. So you'll say one, I'll say one, just so we keep a level playing field. Um, the last podcast that actually is about to drop in 15 minutes. If you're watching this, 15 minutes. It's Friday. But the last one I said was I'd like to write a book one day. Doesn't have to be a book about my life, but a book about the process to start up a podcast and actually step out of your comfort zone to try something new. But I guess my next dream would be to I think I'd like to provide people. Nah, I think I just want to be remembered as a good friend in person to the people that I care about. That's one of my dreams. Um, to be reliable. So if people think of me, they think that I'm reliable and that I can be depended on if ever needed.
I like it.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's one of the consistent things that we do on this here podcast is add it to the dream box, the shoe box. One day this is gonna be full up, and I'm gonna have to do something else, or I'm just gonna have to start completing these dreams.
You just buy another box of shoes.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, that's why this is called 99 Dreams. It would be 100, but we've turned this one into a reality. So we got 99 left. Or 99. But yeah, have you made any more thoughts to what you'd tell your future self?
Nah, that's such a hard one, eh? Just, I guess, don't get stagnant.
Mm.
Don't get complacent. As much as I said, talking to my younger self, like I love where I'm at. You can always go further, higher, better, harder. So just as much as I love the place I'm in right now, just don't be in the same place. Something has to be further along.
Nice. So you want to tell your future self to level up a little bit.
Exactly.
Don't settle for
just gotta keep going.
less.
Don't settle for the same.
Nice, bro. Nice. And that's great advice to give yourself. I know other people have said, like, I hope you're still happy and I hope that you're achieving your dreams as you progress in life. I know everything changes and where people end up. What? Sorry, my Siri keeps going off. I hate that thing.
What a good bitch.
My Siri's a dude. I made him Irish.
I like it.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Man, it's so good to see you. When will I see you next?
Fuck, if not before, like it's well late, but Canes Chiefs in the Tron.
Yeah.
2K23. That is the minimum. That is the maximum. Distance it'll be.
Well, that's locked in.
That's the latest
that's
it'll
locked
be.
in.
That's the latest we will see each other. But we'll sort something out before then.
I also know in May the Warriors are playing the Broncos in Napier at McLean Park.
Ooh.
I think a crew of boys are going up.
Who's playing? Is it the Titans? They're playing their home game against the Warriors in the Tron, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know that one.
That
I
was
know
their
in Wellington,
thanks.
the first game is the Knights.
Nah, their thanks for the Warriors relocating. Did they do 2 full seasons basically to Australia? Their thank you to the people of New Zealand is we're gonna have our home game against the Warriors in New Zealand because they had their home games against us for 2 seasons in Australia, and I'm pretty sure they're doing it in the Tron.
That's something we could look into.
100%.
Because I know Charles is super keen to go to the Indigenous game, the Indigenous Australians versus the Maori in Rotorua in Feb.
Oh, hey, it's 40 minutes from here.
Yeah,
100%.
and I was going to ride my bike over.
100%.
He's keen to fly up, and I think Bailey's keen to go as well. So
Tell them to
if you're
fly
keen, we
into
can make
here,
it.
and
We can make a weekend of
tell
it.
them to fly into here, and we'll drive down.
Yeah, well, I think Bailey's living in Gisborne next year, so he'll be up, and it's just Charles that has to come up actually.
I can road
So
trip with
yeah,
him.
yeah.
I can
We'll
survive.
make a group chat. He'll talk your ears off.
Hey,
He
Charles,
loves a
come
good
through.
yarn. He'll definitely listen to this, by the way. He's a great supporter. Like most of my friends are, they're a great supporter of the podcast. He listened to Mitchell's one not too long ago, and he said he can't wait for this one to come out. So, Charles, I know you're going to be listening eventually. What up, bro?
Charles, come through, fly out, we'll drive down. That's where we are.
So I think we're making the
Maldives.
announcement.
Massive
That's it.
announcement.
All right, we're on. Sorry to everyone else that's listening. That's like, oh man, come, we'll see you there.
Open invite.
I'll vlog it.
Aside from
You want to be in the
I've
vlog?
only
Come.
got 5 seats in my car, but like, open invite.
Yeah, well, we'll just meet them in Rotorua
Exactly.
at the game, and then we'll all hit the town. I hope Vegas has a town.
Will
I
we?
don't know.
Will we?
Yeah, we will. Let's go.
All right.
We're never too old for that.
You might be.
But I guess sorry, carry on.
You might be.
Nah, man. I still got it.
You're a younger soul than me.
Yeah, exactly. It's always been that way.
I'll never forget that birthday drinks we had of yours. I don't know. Again, like when we first met back at uni, we clicked. It was it. We were locked in for life, and I just never thought ages or anything. And also, like in my mind, you were first year, you were 18. That was summer, you were 17 because you were younger, and you unfortunately were put in the year group above whatever. And it was about 3 years later, and we were at your flat having some drinks for your birthday. Like I was 20 at the time, 21 maybe. And one of the boys goes, "Happy 25th, Ra, happy quarter century." And I just sat there and went, "Good joke." And he was like, "Nah, he is 25. I was like, "Oh, fuck. This boy's old."
Hey, man, but we still kept it
But
down.
young at heart.
Hey, 100%. We will never change. We'll never change. It's been weird that transition coming back home, and everyone my age now is like got families and shit. And I'm like, yo, that's us, Bender. Let's go. They're like, nah, man. Like I gotta go home and feed my kids. Nah, but like 100%, like you said, man. When we met at PEO week, it was the first night, the quiz night too, that I met you at Starters. It's been, yo, this is my guy. This is one of the bros since then. It's been an amazing friendship, bro, and it's gonna keep continuing. I mean, look at how we're catching up now after not seeing each other, and we catch up on Snapchat every now and then, or on Instagram every now and then. But it's not a catch up like this, and it's not in person.
Which we need to sort. We need to do better. We need to be better.
Yeah.
We're in the same island now.
100%.
No excuses. Our excuse for about 12 months was we were different islands, but now there's no excuse for that.
Well, also like you're at the top of the South Island, I was at
Yeah.
the bottom of the South Island.
Yeah.
That's not an easy trip.
Good excuse. Some people say there's no excuses.
But now I think you're about 4 hours
sometimes
away.
Excuses. Yeah, probably 4 to maybe 5.
Yeah, 4.5. I think
Yeah.
I can make it in 4.5.
NZ police are listening. He's joking.
Yeah. One of my friends is a cop, so just let me be. I got places to be, people to see, man. That's how it be. But bro, as we wrap up the end of this podcast, I see the time is ticking. Is there anything you want to say before we get going? Like, is there anything you're up to, or anything you want to let people know what you're up to, or how do we find you if people want to contact you?
No, I'm sure Ra will put my Instagram or something in the description if anyone does have any questions about the job or anything. And Next Step New Zealand, Next Step NZ, again, follow them on Instagram, Next Step NZ. See some awesome videos about our clients doing the rehab and all that stuff. And if anyone knows anyone that needs a neuro rehab hand, come through.
100%. Nah, bro. And shut up, man. Thank you so much for stopping by, supporting the channel, supporting the Kaupapa. I do really appreciate it. And glad to have you here, brother, as always, man. You're always welcome in my neck of the woods. You're always family. So come on through whenever you're around, man. Awesome. So thank you, everybody, for stopping by and listening to this podcast. Sam Baxter, thanks again for coming through. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a follow. Check out his mahi. He's doing amazing things out there. But thank you all for stopping by. This has been the 99 Dreams podcast. Moriori, everybody. Take care.